Ryan and Taehyung were bustling around the house, packing suitcases and making sure everything was in order for their family vacation to Singapore. Subin was running around excitedly, his little backpack bouncing on his back as he tried to help in his own way. Mama, can I bring my stuffed dinosaur with me to Singapore? Subin asked, holding up his favorite toy with a wide grin. Ryan chuckled, ruffling Subin's hair affectionately. Of course you can, my little dinosaur. But remember, we have to pack light for the trip, she reminded him. Subin nodded enthusiastically, running off to his room to carefully place his stuffed dinosaur in his backpack. Ryan watched him go with a fond smile. Meanwhile, Taehyung was double checking their travel documents and making sure they had all the necessary items for their trip. He looked up to see Ryan trying to stuff an oversized beach hat into her suitcase, struggling to make it fit. Need some help there? Taehyung teased, walking over to her with a playful grin. Ryan huffed in frustration, giving him a mock glare. I swear, this hat is determined to not fit in my suitcase. It's like it has a mind of its own. Taehyung chuckled gently, taking the hat from her hands and expertly folding it to fit neatly in the corner of her suitcase. There you go, problem solved. See, all you needed was a little bit of my magic touch, he teased. Ryan rolled her eyes playfully, swatting his arm. Oh, please, your magic touch is just pure luck, she retorted, laughing as she zipped up her suitcase with ease. What? Ryan is on a vacation with her family? Hannah asked Ryan's co worker, shocked. Yes, ma'am, what happened? The co worker asked, curious about her shocked expression. Hannah sighed, rubbing her forehead in tension. How is she going to confess to him now? Can you please ask Ryan where they are right now? I needed an important file from her. The co worker nodded. Sure, ma'am, give me a second. She called Ryan, waiting for her to pick up. Just don't tell her that I am the one asking, yeah? It might look awkward. She's there to enjoy, right? Okay, ma'am. Wine picked up the call from the other side. Hello, Wyan? Are you guys on the flight already? Oh, okay. Yeah, nothing. I was just asking if you're fine or not. Have a safe journey and don't forget to enjoy. Yeah, bye. She hung up on the call and turned to look at Hannah, who looked restless. Ma'am, she still haven't left. They always stop at a church before going on a trip. So they're on their way. You can wait. I'll call someone who can get the file. No, I mean, no, it's okay. I'll get the file by myself. Thank you. Hannah smiled at the other girl, patting her shoulder before leaving hurriedly. The Kim's family stood in the church praying for the success of their trip and each other. Van felt Subin tugging at the hem of her shirt, making her open eyes and look at him. I want to light up the candle too. He looked at her mother innocently. Van smiled, taking his hand in hers. Okay, let's go to get some candles from the shop outside. She looks at Taehyung, who had his eyes closed as if wishing for something seriously, before going out of the church with Subin. A minute later, Taehyung smiled, opened his eyes, and turned to look at Vayan and Subin. But as soon as he did, his smile faded quickly. It was replaced with a frown in a blink of an eye. There, in front of him, stood the person he never wanted to face or even see. His expressions were enough to tell how shocked he was to suddenly find her in front of him and not his wife or child. Hannah smiled nervously and waved her hand. Hi, she said, but Taehyung was not in the mood to talk to her. Especially when everything was going right. He tried to walk away, ignoring her, but she came in his way every time. Hannah, please. He was cut off by her words. She dropped the bomb, causing Taehyung's eyes to widen in shock. I used to, I still do, and I always will love you. I I tried hard to convince myself, tried to not love you. But it is what it is. Hannah gulped, looking down, trying to speak without crying. I can't do this, Tay. I can't live without you. 6 years have passed, everything has changed, but I'm still standing here, waiting for you. She pointed at the statue of Jesus. My God knows. When we separated, I was upset with you, him, and myself. She chuckled bitterly. You were not here, so sometimes I fought with myself and sometimes with God. Maybe he was fed up of fighting with me. That's why he made you come back in my life. Hannah smiled softly. I haven't returned, he said firmly. Then you must return for good day, she urged. Because whether someone believes it or not, you know, no one can love each other like we do. The first time I saw you, I fell for you. From that day, no matter who is around me, my eyes are always on you. My heart has always craved for you. Hannah looked at him with tears glistening in her eyes. My love has no bounds. I have crossed all limits in love for you. I fought destiny, but our names are written together forever. It's been 6 years. There's nothing between us. Those names are now erased. Taehyung was still cold and expressionless. It happened because of certain circumstances. We can write it again. I don't love you, Hannah. The woman in front of him just chuckled. Lie. You can tell me lies, but you can't tell yourself lies. She looked completely obsessed with him. You should have at least thought if I had loved you, then I wouldn't be able to move on in life. They said his expression remained unreadable. That's exactly what I was thinking, They. This question has been troubling me. How did you move on? I kept trying until I couldn't and gave up. You are a beautiful dream that I could never forget. But was I a nightmare to you that you forgot so easily? Hannah asked, feeling her heart breaking. She wiped a single tear that rolled down. You know, when your love becomes someone else's, even your breath starts betraying you. It hurts a lot, They. I could never get the answer to this one question. How could you move on so easily? But that day, when you came running to me barefoot, I got every answer. A smile made its way to her lips. This wall of 6 years was there in between us that day as well. Yet, you came running to me. breaking every wall, letting go of everything. Similarly, today I am here letting go of everything just for you. You are just pretending to move on. When we both love each other, then why are we separated? Happy now? Ryan asked Subin, who nodded while smiling wide, taking the candles in hand. Let's head inside and light these up with Dada. She smiled softly at her son. You know that you can't be happy with someone else, they. I know I can't be happy with someone else. Then why should we stay away? This is not wrong, just for us, but also for the ones we have a fake bond with. No one is happy. They know it all. That's why I'm telling the truth. We are destined to be together. Our hearts speak the same language. Taehyung furrowed his eyebrows at that. I know it's very complicated right now, but everything will be fine. Come back, Tae. Come back to your Hana. As these words left her mouth, both Taehyung and Hana were unaware of Vian's presence at the entrance of church. She stood there, shocked to see Hana. Her body was frozen at one place. The words from earlier ringing in her mind made it even more worse. Not being able to hear any further, Vian took her son's hand and turned around, leaving the church. The kid kept asking her what was wrong as they made their way down the stairs towards their car. It simply didn't feel right to listen to the conversation between them. She wanted to give them some privacy. After all, it's Taehyung's decision who he wants to stay with. Mama, Dara is still inside, and Candle, the little boy, was cut off by his mother hugging him so that he couldn't see the glistening tears in her eyes. After a minute, they reached their car. Ryan made Subin sit in the car and took support of the window to stand, breathing heavily, finally letting her tears down. A little hope that Taehyung won't let her down. I know I've made mistakes. I will rectify them. Our story is still incomplete. It's time to complete it. I can't replace you. I agree, a lot of people will get heartbroken. But it's better than getting hurt again and again. I will apologize to the world if you were with me. I will not make any more mistakes, I promise. This time it will be a different story. Just say yes. She waited for a response. Please say something. Come on. Say that you love me. Taehyung sighed, frustrated, his jaw clenched tight. I am a married man, Hannah. I am someone else's husband. Whatever you said to me, you don't even have the right to think like that. You are asking a husband, a father to leave everything and come back to you? This is not called love. It's called being selfish. Shame on you, Joey Hannah. Shame on you. Taehyung said, his eyes showing pure disgust and anger. And like always, you decided and even assumed that I will support you in your decision. Because even you feel Hannah was cut off by Taehyung's harsh and cold tone. Let me decide what I feel, he continued. Yes, after hearing about your accident, I left everything and came running back to you because we used to share a relationship. But recalling that relationship was my mistake. It was my fault. I couldn't think straight, and I do not want to repeat it. They sighed, pushing back the hair falling on his forehead. You want to know how I moved on, don't you? Then listen. I moved on because Ryan was with me. You are here to give me love again, but the relationship demands one more thing. Neither you gave me that in the past nor today. It's called respect. Wine gave me that. She waits for me to say something. She always hears me out. She asks me, discusses with me, and then makes a decision with me. That is respect. His words echoed through the place. When you suddenly came in front of me that night, I got scared. I was scared that history would repeat itself. Someone will get impulsive and decide what is right for me. But no, Ryan spoke to me. She respected me and my past. She did not judge me. I crossed my limits, maybe even hurted her, but she still hasn't said anything to me. That is respect. I used to think that a relationship means only love, but Ryan taught me that relationship means love and respect. In these 6 years, without questioning me or trying to find out anything, she has supported me with no expectations. Gave me confidence that I can start a life afresh. I am complete in myself. She never pulled me back. He had a hint of smile on his face now talking about Ryan. Love is not enough for living. Peace is always needed, and Ryan gave me that. When we were together, you always thought that you and your decisions were right. That's why your love grew, but we failed altogether. You got impulsive and gave me divorce without listening to me, and even today you are here to give me love. This is not love, it's lifetime imprisonment. At this point, tears were rolling down Hannah's cheeks. So, thank you for your offer, Miss Choi Hannah. But I don't accept this. I don't accept forgetting all the limits in love. I don't accept your idea of being madly in love. I don't accept those Tay and Hannah that were meant to be. I am leaving with my wife and son, forgetting about everything that happened here. And most importantly, whatever you said should not come out ever again from your mouth, especially in front of my wife. And with that being said, Taehyung walked right past her, bumping into her shoulder and not looking back. As he was coming down, he saw Vian standing there waiting for him. He wasted no second and ran down the stairs, hugging her close to his heart. Ryan was shocked beyond words. The embrace she always craved was warm and gentle. Taehyung tightened the hug, smiling, feeling the content and peace wash over him. Their little moment was interrupted by Subin, who peeked through the car window. The little kid was excited to see his mom and dad hugging for the first time. Taehyung broke the hug, chuckling. Let's enjoy to our fullest now. Just you, me, and our son, Taehyung said, holding Ryan's hand and looking at her with a soft gaze. Ryan nodded and let out a forced smile, still hearing Hannah's words in the back of her mind.